5 Shocking Secrets of the Real Dracula. What if everything you think you know about Dracula is a lie? Forget the Hollywood fangs and gothic capes. Behind the legend stood a real man, Vlad the Impaler, whose blood-soaked reign was far darker than fiction. Was he a monster, a misunderstood ruler, or something even more terrifying? Tonight, we're peeling back centuries of myth to uncover the shocking truths history tried to bury. These are not ghost stories. They are the brutal secrets of a man who inspired the world's most infamous vampire. Dare to look closer, you may never see Dracula the same way again. Secret number 1. Vlad's childhood as a hostage of the Ottoman Empire. Before he became the dreaded Impaler, young Vlad was not a prince of power, but a pawn in a deadly political game. As a boy, he and his brother were taken hostage by the Ottoman Empire, forced to live under the shadow of their enemies. Imagine being a child, stripped from your home, raised among those who might one day demand your loyalty or your blood. This twisted childhood shaped Vlad's future. He learned the arts of war and diplomacy, but also absorbed cruelty, betrayal, and fear. Every lesson came with the sting of humiliation. Every smile from his captors was a reminder of chains. Some say it was here that Vlad's thirst for vengeance began to burn, a spark that would later ignite into the terrifying figure of Dracula. Was he molded by fate, or was the darkness already within him? One thing is certain: the boy who was once a hostage returned home as a ruler, determined never to bow again. His childhood scars became the foundation of his most shocking and brutal legacy. Secret number 2. The forest of the impaled. Vlad's name, Tepsa. The Impaler was no accident. His most infamous method of punishment was impalement, a slow and excruciating death where victims were hoisted on wooden stakes and left to rot in public view. But what truly shocked the world was the scale. In 1462, when the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II advanced into Wallachia, his army encountered a sight so grotesque it was said to chill even seasoned warriors. Stretching for miles, a forest of more than 20,000 corpses impaled on stakes swayed in the wind, women, and children alike. This was not just cruelty, it was psychological warfare. Vlad turned death into a spectacle, a warning to all who dared oppose him. To his enemies, he was a monster. To his supporters, he was a protector willing to use fear as a weapon. But the truth remains. The Forest of the Impaled was one of history's most shocking atrocities. A nightmare etched into the legend of Dracula. Secret number 3. Dracula. Hero or monster? To the outside world, Vlad the Impaler was a sadistic butcher. But to many in Wallachia, he was something far more complex: a hero who stood against overwhelming enemies. Surrounded by the Ottomans to the south and Hungarian rivals to the west, his homeland was a fragile target. Vlad ruled with iron and terror, believing that only fear could protect his people. He punished corruption, crushed thieves, and made brutal examples of nobles who betrayed him. For common villagers, this meant safety on the roads and justice where there had been none. But safety came at a horrifying cost: rivers of blood and fields of corpses. Here lies the paradox of Dracula. Was he a defender of his people or a tyrant drunk on cruelty? History remembers both. To some, he was the shield of Christendom, the defender of the faith. To others, he was a monster who blurred the line between ruler and executioner. This duality, hero and villain, savior and butchers, one of the most shocking truths of the real Dracula. Secret number 4. Dracula's blood-soaked reputation. The most chilling tales of Dracula-esque cruelty were not only about death, they were about how he delivered it. Chronicles describe him dining among the impaled, calmly eating his meals while thousands of victims writhed in agony before him. Some reports even whispered that he dipped bread into their blood, feeding the legend that he was more than human, that he was the monster who drank life itself. Whether exaggerated by terrified enemies or not, these stories spread across Europe like wildfire. pamphlets, poems, and woodcuts painted Vlad as a demon in human form. In Germany, he was branded a bloodthirsty tyrant. In the Ottoman Empire, he was remembered as a devil who mocked their might. But beneath the horror was strategy. By cultivating this terrifying image, Vlad didn't just rule his land, he haunted the minds of his enemies. His reputation became a weapon sharper than any sword, ensuring that his name would live on long after his body turned to dust. And centuries later, that reputation would inspire Bram Stoker's most famous vampire. Secret number 5. The mysterious death of Vlad the Impaler. For a man whose life was drenched in blood and terror, even Vlad's death remains wrapped in mystery. Some chronicles claim he was betrayed by his own Bojar's nobles, who had long despised his cruelty. Others say he fell in battle against the Ottomans, cut down by the very enemies he had spent a lifetime fighting. But the strangest part is what came after. His head was severed and sent to Sultan Mehmed II, preserved in honey as proof of his demise. Yet his body was never truly found. Monks claim to have buried him at a monastery in Snagov, but excavations centuries later revealed only animal bones. So, did Dracula's corpse vanish into legend? Was it hidden by loyalists, stolen by enemies, or perhaps never buried at all? The uncertainty fed whispers that Vlad had transcended death, that the man and the monster had become one. This final mystery blurs the line between history and myth, sealing Dracula's place as one of the most feared and fascinating figures the world has ever known. From a hostage prince scarred by childhood trauma, to a ruler who turned fear into his greatest weapon, Vlad the Impaler's life was filled with horrors that blurred the line between man and myth. His forest of corpses, his dual legacy as both hero and monster, his blood-soaked reputation, and his mysterious death all reveal a truth more shocking than any vampire tale. The real Dracula did not need fangs to terrify the world. His deeds alone carved his name into history. If these dark secrets fascinated you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us as we continue to uncover the most haunting truths history tried to hide.